Hey, how's everyone doing? So today you have P and J on the Twitch to talk about NFTs, Metaplex, and I don't know, whatever you guys want. I'm reading the chat on the side, so if you have any questions, feel free to just keep asking them. We'll be monitoring that and try to answer them as they come. To kick it off, we can talk basically about metadata to start. You want to start?
Metadata? Yeah. So, I guess really we should probably start a little lower at tokens.
Yeah, sure. So I can talk, I guess, about the tokens. So when you have, the best way to start with the tokens is really splsolana.com. This is,
so you want next token program.
Oh, yeah. It's good. So the token program is where everything starts. And this allows you to configure the mint for a given token that you want to create. So in case of NFTs, what you can actually do is create a token just from JavaScript. So if you search for non-fungible tokens, you can create it from the command line like here, or you can create the token from the JavaScript, which I will show probably in a second. But first, the token has two entities that you normally want to think about. First one is the mint, that specifies how many decimals the token has, how much of the supply it has at the moment, what's the mint authority, and what's the freeze authority. So when you are creating non-fungible tokens, you want to set those decimals to 0, and you want to set supply to 1, and then throw away the mint authority to prove that no more can be minted. So that was a good point, but I guess we started from scratch.
Yeah, yeah, and we should, yeah. So like the mint is sort of like this basic concept of like, this is, I like to think of it as like the US mint. Like this is the place where the tokens get made. When you want to make more of a token, like a good example is like Circle, the company that does USDC. When someone comes to them with US dollars, actual fiat, and they want USDC, the coin, Circle actually owns the mint authority over the USDC mint struct on the token contract. And so what they do is they take the $100 that someone gives them and they actually call the contract with the mint that they own, and they sign that transaction with the mint authority, and they say, hey, mint, give this person 100 USDC tokens, and they get 100 USDC tokens to their account, their token account. That is the point of this mint structure. And so that's like understanding basic ideas around what a mint is and what a token account is. That's like the key basis of almost all of Solana. Pretty much there's no Solana program in existence that doesn't make use of token contracts. All right, so now the next level is,
before we switch, the Solana token program is located in Solana program library. This is an equivalent of like Open Zeppelin on Ethereum if you're coming from Solidity contract. There's a bunch of things in here. If you want to see some of the examples, it's good to go to JavaScript, and there's a bunch of examples here, like create a mint and transfer a bunch of tokens. So super straightforward. This is thanks to Chase and the great community that submitted a bunch of PRs for how this would work, but this exactly is showing you what you need to do. So you call create a mint just from JavaScript. So Solana has this thing where the programs are actually deployed on the blockchain, and they can be reusable. In the context of the token program, you don't need to deploy your own contract because all the tokens are really the same. So what's enough is just JavaScript to initiate the mint, create an account that will hold the token, and then mint the token to that specific account. And you have a bunch of things that you can configure here. In this case, the mint is 9. Again, for NFTs, you want to set it to 0 or decimals. This is like...
Yeah, decimals.
Yeah.
This is what truly makes something non-fungible. It means it can't be broken. It's not divisible beyond one unit of itself. 9 means that it could truly be broken into like, little bits of itself.
Right. And again, token program, it's universal for all the tokens. So the NFTs on Solana are using the same code that the USDC is using, plus some extra bits on top of it. But Solana really encourages you to do composability of programs and reusing the code that's already out there, instead of you running separate code and audit for your own tokens. You could do that if you wanted to, but we encourage you to basically reuse what's out there. This is what's supported by the wallets and all the apps. So if you are using Phantom, you can click on the Phantom and see some of the NFTs here. I think I have one. I just recently minted this lovely little baby.
That's cute.
Yeah.
But it's called Soul Life.
Yeah.
I thought we weren't doing soul flavored things anymore.
It's not me.
Oh, this is a new company?
Yeah.
Oh, play to earn NFT strategy game. That's cute.
Yeah. So you can go to the soullife.town if you wanted to. I'm not affiliated with it in any way. Please verify if you are using it. But I did that yesterday.
Oh, it's adorable. Oh, so like ages, like The Sims?
Yeah, I think they said on the website that eventually they will have a game where every 3 hours in real life, this will age by like a year or something like that.
By the way, this was not a marketing at all. We were not in any way funded.
Yeah.
Even though
it's showing you what the properties that you have on the NFT, and we'll cover it, how to create an NFT like that if you wanted to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Using Metaplex standard. So I guess this is a good segue to switch actually to Metaplex docs.
Yes.
And talk about token metadata. So
yeah.
You want to take it away?
Yeah. Okay. So metadata. So now you've got this mint. You've got a single token. It can't be divided. Like when you have decimal 0, you can't transfer half of that token somewhere because the token program will literally tell you you're full of it because the decimals are 0. There's only one of it. It can't be divisible more than 1, right? And you want people to know that it's not just a token. It's your baby. It's a baby with 60 charm, right? Oh shit, I gotta get my glasses.
Yeah.
1 second. Yeah. So you want to go full Solana. You want to give this baby a name. You want to give it a picture. You want to give it some attributes. You want to sell it for 2 SOL.
We're doing only 1 SOL now.
Oh, we're doing only 1 SOL now. Yeah, I keep forgetting the price. Yeah. So what you need is metadata. And this is where the beauty of Solana composability comes in. The token metadata program actually just sits on top of the token program. What it does is we take the mint key, the mint ID of your mint, and we make a new account called the metadata account. And this metadata account uses as its seed, the mint pub key to generate a new account key, a unique account key that can only be generated from your mint pub key to make the metadata struct. And the metadata struct looks like, scroll to the metadata struct. It should be, maybe it's in the token types. Yeah. Types, I think you put it in the type section. Where did we put it? We put it somewhere.
Somewhere here.
No, that's the, sorry, we lost our sense of theater.
Boom.
It looks like this. Yeah, so it looks like this. So what you do is you take your mint with its 0 decimals and 1 token, and you go and you call create metadata accounts on the token metadata contract, and it creates a meta. So now you've got a mint and you've got a metadata account, and the metadata account basically gives this mint a name. It gives it a URI, it gives it a symbol, it gives it extra information. And because of the fact that this metadata is tied irrevocably to the actual public key of the mint, no other metadata can ever be created to spoof your mint. Only you can have it, and only the mint authority of that mint can create this metadata, right? But that's not all, right? Because Siri could today, if he wanted to, go and take his Cope mint and make a metadata. Token metadata is not just restricted to NFTs. We designed it to be a replacement for the token JSON list that is a pull request-based system on GitHub. It's for any mint. It's not just decimal 0. We're not haters. We like all decimals, right? If you want to truly make an NFT, the next step is to actually create a master edition for your metadata. It's a secondary struct. Show them the master edition, Bartosz.
Yes. So the master edition covers this, which is gives you the ability to basically cap the supply on specific NFT or mint limited editions or open editions of the same, let's say, art that you created. If you want to create a limited edition, you basically set this max supply to 10 as an example, and then you are able to mint 10 limited edition items. So technically there will be 11 NFTs in circulation, your master edition. that gives you authority who can create the limited edition. So you could imagine that the artist can create this master edition. It's really just like a record, like master record that you can use to then print new CDs if you are super old. And you can sell that. I can sell my master record to someone and they can create limited editions in the future if they wanted to, or if you want to create one of one, you set zero. Max supply to 0 and you'll have a unique NFT on Solana.
Yeah, and if you're a Rustacean like us, you'll notice this is an option. So you can set it to none, which means there is no limit on how many you can print. So if you're feeling like the Fed, none is your option.
Yeah.
So so that's sort of that's metadata in a nutshell. It basically
I think it's also worth covering the royalties and the creators.
Yeah, royalties are cool. Okay, so if you like making money after you sell the thing, let's cover royalties. So you'll notice that the creators array on here is also an option. You do not need to have a creators array to have an NFT, but unlike Soul Bears, I would recommend using one. Because it does allow you to have them after you sell the NFT. So there are two pieces to cover here. Seller fee basis points. 10,000 actually means 100%. Important thing to note, right? So on your first sale, 100% of the fees will go to the creators in the creators array. The creators array is essentially a list of public addresses, and each public address has a share in it. The total shares must add up to 100, and the revenue from the first sale is split among them equally. The seller fee basis points is used in the second, third, all the way up to end sales, all follow-up sales. If seller fee basis points is 1,000, then 10% of the revenue from all future sales is then split among the creators in the same proportion as the original sale based on the creators array. The way that we know whether or not a secondary sale is happening or a primary sale is happening is we use this primary sale happened Boolean that you see in the metadata structure below. And the way that this thing is flipped is anyone who is holding the token can call the metadata contract and flip this to true. And once it's flipped to true, it cannot be flipped back to false. And the reason that someone would do this is that they're incentivized to do it, because if someone has bought your token from you, they want to flip this thing, because when they resell it, they're not going to get any money from it unless they flip this thing. So that's sort of, we basically built human interactions into this contract. We just assumed that they'd want to flip it.
And this metadata structure is not specific to Metaplex Star, to answer the question in the chat. Pretty much any NFT right now on Solana is using this. If you are minting your own NFTs and selling them without using auctions contract from Metaplex, you will probably set it to false, or where's this primary sale happen? You will set that to true immediately.
Yeah, all of the exchanges are using these structs to in some way inform the way that they do sales. Not all of them are using these structs correctly. In fact, many of them are using them incorrectly. Some of the exchanges, for instance, make this false assumption that this update authority key here is somehow tied to verification of the metadata, which is not true at all. So Bartosz, do you want to explain how to actually verify your metadata?
Yeah, sure. So if you're a secondary marketplace, don't use the update authority to verify if that NFT is really the true NFT and nobody is like forging it. So what you want to use is really the creators array.
We should probably show the creator struct.
Yeah. Somewhere here. So the creator struct allows you to specify who created this. If you decide to use Candy Machine, the first one in the array will be the address generated by the Candy Machine for specific drop. The verified is really acting as a multi-sig that allows multiple creators sign that this NFT is truly created by them. So this really what's preventing forging and spoofing. If I had a Beeple dropping on Solana, he would want to set that to true to make sure that nobody else is really creating that contract. One day, maybe.
One day. No, not maybe. One day.
Because I can add any creator I wanted, but they don't need to verify the NFT that I created. Once they verify, they really sign, hey, this is really me. They could use the Bonfida naming service if they wanted to tie it to their address. So the users can actually later in the website see that, hey, this Bonfida .sol address verified really this NFT. And if you're a secondary marketplace, this is how you should be verifying that this specific address really signed the specific NFT. So if you're using Metaplex stores and auctions, you cannot actually list an NFT that has creators that are not verified.
Yeah. Most secondary exchanges allow you to list any NFT regardless of the creator's verification status, which we don't entirely agree with, but we understand why they do it. So pretty much all of the NFT drops happening today, some or all of the creators are unverified. We do, as a metadata program, the metadata program requires, if you are using creators array, that the initial creator be in the creators array, and by default they are verified because they are signing for the creation. So you can at least use that as a partial verification. Like, it's pretty much impossible to spoof that if you know that wallet. You can look, and that's at least some authenticity. But we do recommend that all NFT drops do, after they initially mint, go through each one and sign with all of the wallets so that they are fully verified.
Yeah, and again, Candy Machine will sign the first creator for you with the address that's specific to that Candy Machine config.
Yep.
And that address is owned by that contract, so you can only use it for one drop. So if you have multiple drops, you probably want to have another address that identifies that this is our overarching drop from that specific, instead of just using that specific.
And to clarify, we were mentioning update authority earlier. So update authority is really talking about ownership of the metadata. So there's a differentiation between who owns the token and who owns the metadata of a given token. So you could, in fact, I could give my master edition token to Bartosz, and now he has rights to print limited editions with it because he's got the token. But I own the metadata still because I have the update authority on it, which means I could change the picture of the metadata to a picture of SpongeBob, and he still got the token, and it's a picture of SpongeBob.
But not for the limited editions that were already.
Yes, not for the limited editions. So limited editions are frozen in time clones. So if it was a picture of Patrick beforehand, all the clones he made of it, all the limited editions would still be Patrick. But if I one day decide to mess with him and change it to SpongeBob, he can't do anything about it. And I could change the seller fee basis points. I could change the creators array. I could change anything I want about it, but he still owns the token and he can still mint limited editions.
Yeah, he constantly messes with me.
And yes, that is totally true. So you should be aware that there's this difference between owning metadata versus owning the token, and a full rights transfer versus a full rights transfer in the parlance of Metaplex is when you give a token to someone and the update authority at the same time, versus a normal token transfer, which is where you just give the token to them.
All right.
So where do you want to go next?
I think we can maybe show some code how in the Metaplex repository. So again, if you are watching this and you are into Metaplex, this is the Metaplex repo. Please go start it, go fork it, create your own store, play with the code. It's the easiest way to get started on NFTs on Solana. This gives you pretty much the full ability to control your own storefront. We believe that creators should own their own galleries, just like in the real life, and be empowered to list whatever they want to list, when they want to list, without anyone saying this is not art, and we don't want it on our page. Okay. So I figured we would show
how did we get up to 30 pull requests? I thought there were like 19 yesterday.
Yeah, get back to work. Where's I think we had it here. Okay, so I want to show specifically this NFT.tsx. So this shows you how Metaplex, when you're a creator and you are minting something, you can actually create master edition. It walks you through creating the mint, which we discussed at the very beginning, creating a associated token account for the user, and then setting up the metadata that sends, and then sending it to Arweave, storing this actually in the immutable storage on Arweave, and then updating the link.
I want to update this to upload file prod 4 at some point.
Yeah. All right, so let's maybe mark this and post this here. Okay, so I think before we switch to something else like the vault, I think it would be good to talk about the JSON schema.
Yeah, so we've been talking a lot about the metadata. You'll notice there's a key in there called URI. So the metadata itself is actually not what Phantom and Soulflare and other wallets use when they display these cool little pictures in your wallet. What they actually do is they just look at the URI key and pull whatever is at the URI key, and they expect it to look like this JSON schema here, which Bartosz will now talk about.
Yeah, so this is very similar to what you have in the ERC 1155 if you are coming from Ethereum. It allows you to set up the name for the NFTs and a bunch of properties and attributes as well. You need to set this just shows the schema, not the actual JSON that you need to copy.
This actually.
Yeah. This has the example.
Yeah, it also has all the.
Yeah. So that was like the JSON schema that you can use for verification. This is the specific example. So you can see a bunch of attributes. So those attributes, again, if you go to a wallet like Phantom and click on the NFT, you will see them here. You can create as many as you want. They are not typed in any way. So that means you can have like duplicates, a bunch of other things, but yeah, you should verify what's happening there. Animation URL allows you to configure like a video. In the future, we hope to actually support HTML and JSON. During the recent India hackathon, I think there was already 2 teams that kind of built that out. Hopefully they will improve that even further and submit it as a pull request to the Metaplex. The image is what you normally see in the wallet. When you look at it, there's like a collection name and then a bunch of other properties that describe like the creators and everything. But if you are, again, a marketplace, you should not rely on the creators that are specified in the JSON.
Yep, they can be spoofed because if you notice, there's no verified thing here. There's no verified Boolean.
Yeah. So,
always rely on what's on the blockchain.
Yeah. All right. So that kind of covers the JSON. I think maybe we'll go to the Vault next.
Yes. The Vault.
There was a question how to use Vault to potentially create fractionalization if someone wanted to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've been talking to a few people about that.
Right.
Yeah. You want to do it? Or
no, take it away.
All right. Okay. So Vault is currently used mostly as just like a glorified escrow contract for holding tokens for Metaplex, but it actually was originally designed to essentially do price discovery, to discover a reservation price for auctions, and then we auction off the Vault after we discover the reservation price. So it had much grander ambitions before, we had to, put our ambition in check because we needed to launch. But it's got a full fractionalization protocol already built in. So the way it works, and I'll just tell it as a story, is you have an NFT or a group of NFTs, you put them in the Vault and you lock the Vault. So the Vault's now closed. You as the Vault authority cannot get into the Vault to get out your NFTs, but what you can do is you can specify a third-party oracle who can define the price per share of shares for your Vault and whether or not your Vault can be bought out. And that oracle can be owned by you, but it could optionally be owned by someone else, like say a DAO. It could be owned by anybody, and it just has to fit a certain format, just like Pyth oracles, right?
What would be cool there, like if you're listening to this because of the hackathon, would be awesome to actually see someone implementing maybe a DAO mechanism with a governance contract that we have.
Yes.
So imagine someone issued an NFT, fractionalized it, the DAO owns portion of it, and there needs to be a vote through the DAO that sets that magical oracle to like, hey, the vote passed, you can actually perform a buyout on the list of.
Yeah, please God, someone do this because we built this months ago and no one has yet, and it makes us sad. Anyway, so you have this oracle and it basically says price per share in DAO. And once you have this Vault closed, you can actually mint these shares, right? And these shares are just normal SPL tokens. You can mint them and you can give them away to people. You can put them on a Serum DEX. You can, they're just like any other token, and you can treat them like, any other token that you can sell for money, right? And so you can create markets where there's price discovery and people will actually figure out what the price of your NFTs are using the normal Serum marketplaces that you come to expect. You can use an AMM to control, and then you just have to build a crank essentially to have the AMM or the Serum DEX sort of update at some interval the external oracle, or you could have them float and then have the DAO decide a buyout price based on observing those things. And then once you decide you want to buy out the vault, or someone else comes along and wants to make a buyout offer to the DAO who owns the vault, they can make that buyout offer, and then they can give the vault the funds to buy out all the shareholders in circulation. So they give the money over to the vault, and the vault then holds the money, allows the vault to be opened by the new vault authority, and the vault authority can then withdraw the NFTs at any point in time, and then shareholders can come and burn their shares at any point in time and receive funds for those shares. So it's a very simple mechanism. Some future things we want to add is the ability to add NFTs after the vault has already been closed, because we feel like that's not really a security risk. And we probably want to expand the number of NFTs that are allowed in a vault from 255 to a very large number. We just need to switch to a U64 because I'm an idiot. That's really it. But yeah, that's the whole flow.
The other one that, like the vault, if someone is like listening and again thinking, what should I do during the hackathon? It would be super cool if someone took the vault and used it to implement floor perpetual swaps as described in Dave White's paper. Let me maybe link to that. So you could potentially create a basket of NFTs, log them into a vault. Again, right now it's a limited number to 56, but for the purpose of the floor, let's see. I think this is the tweet. Let's see.
This is what we get for trying to save bytes.
Yeah. Right. So you should definitely think about like, can I guess this is the link. This is the tweet. You could grab the vault, somehow link it to a Ethereum market, and have this floor perpetuals implemented, which would be super cool. And probably Jordan would award you Metaplex NFT.
This is like a golden one, which I don't give out for anyone. If you pulled that off.
Okay. Should we talk about maybe the auction, and then I feel like maybe switching to a candy machine?
Yeah.
We have like.
To be honest, everyone's here for the candy machine.
Who is for the candy machine here? Yeah. Please post something in the chat.
Yeah.
Go with the auction.
All right. Auction contract. So we have a modified English auction setup. So in a traditional English auction, there's a single winner. But in our English auction, there can be potentially multiple winners. So you make bids. You can be beaten in a standard. So there's always one top bidder. But if you make a bid, your bid is sort of in order of the how high it is relative to other people. And if there are 10 potential items that could be won in an auction, and you are in the top 10, you get the item corresponding to your order in the ranking. It's pretty simple.
I mean, it's actually quite complicated.
I mean, I don't know, what am I missing here? I mean, there's gap time. We can talk about gap time.
Yeah, like the best example of the most complicated auction that we support right now.
You want to talk about Blau?
Yeah, so Blau, great DJ, actually did a drop on Origin, if I'm not mistaken, that actually resembles exactly what we have here. So we can have multiple winners, multiple tiers, and list multiple NFTs, and we are very proud of what we support here.
Oh yeah, well that's Metaplex, not auction contract.
Yeah.
So the auction contract just understands how to do auctions.
Yeah, but like it supports that technically.
Yeah. Okay. So the auction contract is just a primitive that knows how to auction off a resource. The Metaplex contract does know how to. Yeah. So I guess to go into the Blau. I guess we don't explain explaining the Blau thing is really.
No, unless someone wants.
Does anyone want to go into how the Blau thing work? God, I even trying to remember how it works hurts my brain. But it was actually the first auction we ever did on Metaplex was the Blau style auction. It hurts so much.
I don't know if anyone is actually calling that, and I don't know if Justin is even aware of that.
Yeah, it hurt.
We are calling it Blau style auction.
Yeah, Blau style auction. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
I think there's a person that's asking about the vault, like using it on the client.
Yeah. We got a whole vault.ts we can go to.
Yeah, let's find it.
It should be in common, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch of actions here that are related to the vault. So if you list it, like if you search for the auctions, you can search for the vault. There's like close vault, create vault, and like a bunch of other things.
Unwind vault.
Yeah. Take a look at that. It doesn't have that many actions, and I think the vault contract was the one that changed the least.
Yeah, it's like the shark. Like it hasn't changed and evolved in like 2 million years. It's just a perfect machine. Just like it just keeps swimming around doing its job.
Yeah. I don't know. There's really I don't necessarily want to go over the code here. It's fairly boring.
Yeah, it's our least interesting, most secure, best contract that we've got out of the bunch.
Yeah. All right. What is the question? Royalties, fees are pretty cool, but will they be paid if the token is traded on any exchange marketplace? So sure, I can talk about it. So when we were discussing how the standard should be working, we had this option of like, do we want to try to enforce royalties payments across the contracts? And the only way that could be possible is through breaking composability. We would need to deploy our custom token program that effectively prevents transfers, or maybe using the current token program, but freezing the tokens on the user account and unfreezing them only if they are traded through some special marketplace contract.
Right.
And we decided against it.
Yep.
Because we like the innovation. We want everyone, out there, and especially on the calls like that, to think like, hey, how can I improve it? What if I create a staking contract for NFTs? What if I create a different fractionalization, like gaming, anything? And if we limited the transfer capabilities and who can hold them and how, I think we would lose all of that.
Yep.
Which would be sad.
Yeah,
It would make me very sad.
Yeah. So the answer is there could be an exchange that could choose to ignore royalties, but they would be dicks, and we would shame them.
Yeah.
But that's about all we could do.
So it's a social contract, right? Like the way I think about it is artists would basically shame the marketplaces that don't support royalties. Let's say someone creates a marketplace where you can trade DJ apes without paying to them. Guarantee that the DJ apes would discover that within a week or two and basically tweet to everyone, please do not trade there. That particular secondary marketplace would lose big chunk of volume and would not make their own fees. So it's kind of breaking business model. If you you need to support the artist.
Yeah. And it does also create a nice incentive for the artist to keep a good community standing with their community. Because if their community feels like they have been taken advantage of, they're not going to listen to the artist when the artist says, hey, I'm being shrifted by marketplace X. So by making this social contract the only way to go, it actually sort of makes good actors, we think. And so far it has held up. I mean, we haven't seen a single exchange come into existence that doesn't do the royalties.
Yeah, because it's bad business. It's
really bad business. Yeah, the only place where royalties don't happen is in P2P transfers, but those are pretty insecure anyway, so people tend to not want to do them.
Yeah, and that's another thing that we kind of considered. We could try to prevent it on chain, but if someone really wanted to skip the royalties, they would do just peer-to-peer transaction, pass the ledger to someone, and that's it. You wouldn't be able to prevent that anyway.
Yeah.
So the bad actor can skip the royalties, but the reality is majority of the population won't, because it's a social contract.
And this is why we didn't, for instance, make the candy machine single wallet only. It's just there's no point. You know, they will circumvent pretty easily. Anyway, I guess the segue to candy machine.
Yeah. Where do we have it? Somewhere.
Spend 5 minutes at the end on fair launch.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Give them a little sneak peek.
Yeah. Do you guys want sneak peeks or no?
Sneak peeks. Yeah, we could talk about fair launch.
Okay, so the candy machine.
Yeah.
So the candy machine, I think first before we cover it, big thank you to Armani.
Yes, that guy is a legend, our personal hero.
Yeah. He answered all the questions that Jordan had over Twitter, and he created Anchor. Great framework. If you never used it and you are interested in building something on chain, go to his GitHub repo.
We're also not being paid for this.
Give him some stars. fork it, try to build something. Armani is awesome.
Yeah, he also is extremely responsive on the Serum Discord, and I highly recommend visiting there. They're actually much more responsive than we are on our Discord.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, we are building a lot of stuff right now. But yeah, he's great. And the Anchor, it is. I think it's going to be probably the way that most contracts are built in the future.
Yeah, we need this GIF with the "This is the way."
Yeah, this is the way. Yeah, yeah.
Hey.
Okay, so I guess so. Candy Machine. Essentially, the Candy Machine is a glorified on-chain CSV with a pointer. Like that's it. Like the beauty of it is how dumb it is. It's just like so. What we're doing, there's kind of like we have a little step where you upload a CSV of pre-uploaded Arweave URLs into a CSV on the chain in strips. And then you make a Candy Machine which points at that CSV, and the Candy Machine just keeps a pointer where it just keeps track of, how many NFTs have been minted. And each time an NFT has been bought by someone, it moves the pointer up to a different row in the CSV, right? And because it's all a single transaction, you can't pay for an NFT and receive an NFT in a different transaction. They all happen in the same transaction. So if you can't pay, or the Candy Machine has run out of NFTs to give you, then the transaction doesn't succeed, right? So I guess do you have bring up the
I wanted to add configs.
Oh yeah, so this is the place where we add the config line. So this is literally the place where we're just adding CSV lines. Like all this thing is a CSV uploader. The Candy Machine is basically a CSV uploader plus a cursor into a CSV that takes money. Like it's extremely stupid. And this came out of the time when we rescued the DGen apes. We basically built a Web 2 version of this on Google Cloud with Redis. In 12 hours, we deleted every line of code they had, built the same thing with a Google Cloud function using the Redis INCR function as an atomic mutex on a counter. And Candy Machine is just the Rust version of that. So it moves the counter through the CSV config. So each time someone pays X SOL, they get an NFT, the counter moves up, and we make a new NFT. And the CSV just has the URI and the name of the next NFT. And that is Candy Machine in its essence. And what I love about it is how dumb it is. It's 600 lines of pure stupid, and it works every time unless you fudge the price. I'm still really sorry about that.
Yeah. Lesson learned there. Don't use this.
Yeah, don't use or.
Very technical.
Yeah, never use or one for price. Well, we're laughing about it. I don't think they're laughing about it.
Yeah, nobody's laughing.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know. What do you do with this audience?
Yeah, you can't hear them.
Yeah. Sad.
Okay. So I guess what do we want to talk about now?
No, I wanted to show the minting. So this is thanks to Levi Cook. He created the repo with the minting website. If you wanted to do the minting, where's the minting? Somewhere here. Come on.
Oh yeah, so this is the front-end implementation that Levi built for us. Who, by the way, Levi has taken a job with the Metaplex Foundation. He's going to be building a lot more documentation and doing a lot more Discord moderation for the Metaplex Foundation going forward. So I'm really excited to see them, pick him up.
Yeah, really good stuff. So again, even if you're thinking you're not coding, you're not building smart contracts, you can always hop into the Metaplex repository, try to help with the documentation, examples, or with code. We review or try to review all the pull requests and the issues.
As you can see, we're not doing too great a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Levi here, he didn't touch a single contract, and he did more than almost any developer in the ecosystem could to get Candy Machine out there. More than I did, really. Like we just built the contract, but he really made it possible for everyone to learn. So
the Mint NFT, again, if you are not familiar with the Anchor, it has this concept of like program.rpc.mint NFT. That's the method inside of the contract that will call on-chain program, pass bunch of accounts and instructions that should happen before So you see it's creating an account, initializing the mint, associates the token, creates the like minting instruction, and then boom, you get a candy from the candy machine.
Yeah. So you just have to provide a blank token to it that and it makes the metadata in the master edition for you. Yeah. The reason there's 600 lines for the candy machine is because Anchor has boilerplate. Lots and lots of boilerplate.
Well, it's still small. Less than the normal program.
Yeah, less than the normal program. But so the way that Anchor works is essentially you go from an imperative programming model where you're doing a lot of checks on whether or not accounts are who they say they are to a model where you're using kind of a YAML-like syntax. You have a DSL where you say that this account is, belongs to this program, or this account has these seeds. And so a lot of the programming, a lot of the code you write is more just checking that people aren't trying to rug you. That's most of Solana programming. It's just like, I trust no one. How is this person going to screw me? That's 80% of the code you write is how is this person going to screw me? And then the other 20% is the actual programming logic.
Okay, so should we have like last maybe 10 minutes to questions, random questions, or where do you want us to go? Let's see. Hey, maybe
it might be like no one left.
Yeah, everyone left.
Yeah.
I think the candy, but so this is the website. I just posted it. The candy machine itself is here. Again, this is a reusable code. So the contract is deployed on the blockchain. So you don't need to deploy a new contract to use the candy machine. What you are using is you should call the CLI from the Metaplex repository and basically instantiate a new config.
Yeah, we will never give you anything where you have to deploy a new version of the contract.
The governance, you need to deploy your own contract.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we is like generally the Metaplex stuff. Generally, we try to stick to just you deploy it. You use the contracts already in existence.
Yeah,
governance is the one exception for a reason.
Yeah, so the auditing of the contracts, that's a good question.
See, like all these are too far forward now. I can't even fill that.
So this folks from Neodyme, I think they have a blog somewhere here. Let me find it. Yeah, so this is a good company that you can contact if you're looking for an audit. And they also have a blog, if I can find it. Get back here.
These guys.
Let's see.
Buy magnets.
Come on. Where is this?
Oh, hey,
Yes.
Chase, could you paste in that document about finding RPC providers? Because I think that might also be good if you're looking to do a candy machine launch.
So this pitfalls for like some Solana common programs. This doesn't cover how to do it in Anchor. Anchor has, again, like Jordan described, slightly different way. This covers like general programming on Solana with programs that are not Anchor specific, but to be fair, all those problems apply to almost any blockchain programming. This should be, if you are thinking about security, this should be the first read that you do. And thank you, Neodyme guys. I'm sure you are not listening to this.
Yeah, but if you are, we love you.
Okay. Maybe
someone was asking about fractionalization up there.
Again,
they were like,
yeah, sure. So let's see if I skipped something.
Yeah, like as long as you can't move any 380.
Dynamic minting based on the uploads. Yes, that's possible. Yes, you can basically create the metadata, store it on Arweave or any other storage system that you prefer, and you could mint on the fly if you wanted to. Again, the link that I posted to nft.tsx shows you how to kind of do it on the backend if you wanted to in the GCP function, or if you want to see examples of how to do it in the contract that does something. Take a look at the candy machine. It creates the metadata and everything. Recap of the ideas. Yeah, maybe I'll recap them in a Twitter thread. So if you want to like take a look at that.
Fractionalization. Someone, please.
Final overview would be cool. That's kind of tricky to do an overview on the overview.
Yeah, this was the overview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Client, again, the fractionalization, we don't have any implementation in the client code that does it right now.
So you can technically just have a vault that doesn't use the fractionalization layer at all, and that's what Metaplex uses it for. It just uses it as a vault. But the vault has the option to issue shares that represent ownership in it. And we just choose not to when we do Metaplex stuff.
So the payment on the first mint. So if you are using a Metaplex auction and Metaplex storefront, all the artists in the creators array, they all need to be verified in the Metaplex, and they will all be paid share of the 100% of the sales that happen on Metaplex storefront. Again, Metaplex storefront don't take any additional fees from listing if you're a creator. Everything is provided as an open source for free, and that's why we appreciate if people contribute back if you do anything cool.
We'll give you a medal.
Yeah, the medals.
Yeah.
Sorry about the background noise. Can you explain more about the price of minting a Metaplex NFT? Sure.
It's like $1 now, right? Because
maybe like 50 cents. I think this primarily depends on the Arweave cost and like Solana storage cost. I think it's around like 0.5 SOL total for storing the NFT forever on Arweave and creating all the necessary structures on Solana. Yeah, metadata. Can you update metadata for Candy Machine? Yes, you can update the config line before the NFT has been created.
And you can also update the metadata afterwards. You know,
if you set in the config of the.
Yeah, you set they're mutable.
Yeah.
Which they are by default.
Yeah, but you can set them to immutable.
Yeah, you can if you want to. I would not recommend making immutable NFTs generally.
Yeah, I mean, just to be safe. If you want to prove really the point, make everything immutable.
Yeah, but we've seen some companies do that, and they have rued the day that they decided to be so specific.
Yeah, but you can.
Mm-hmm.
Auditing. Know about the whitelist? Yeah, so sure. So the Metaplex storefront kind of supports similar model that you could implement a very similar model to what Foundation has on Ethereum, where you can add multiple creators to the storefront, and then that creator is allowed to publish on your storefront. And also the holders of the NFT where that creator is a co-creator can sell the secondary, use your storefront for secondary sales of that creator. And it would be cool if someone created a better front end than what we have, but it's like Foundation probably. And it's faster. Like there was a question at the beginning somewhere, why Metaplex storefronts, like the default ones, are kind of slow. We are working on improving that. There is a GraphQL PR that we are trying to review. There's multiple of them from Exomany.
Yeah, problem is there's just the two of us.
Yeah.
So it's got a lot of stuff going on.
So right now, how many creators can have the creator array? Right now it's 5. If we receive a lot of requests to increasing that, we could.
Yeah, it's doable.
Okay. What else? Oh, there's like a lot. I want to create.
It's Friday, then it's Saturday. What?
Yeah. Can I create an NFT via an API in my application? Yes, you can.
Yes.
Metaplex storefronts. This is what they are doing. The creators, when they are minting it, they are minting them on the UI. There's no contract code that is needed, or additional contract code that's needed other than what's already deployed. But be cautious. Metaplex storefronts can do that because the creator is minting usually a master edition. If you're a 10K generative drop, you shouldn't do that with the mint button.
Yeah, that's how the Degen Apes first drop worked, and all the exiled apes now have this problem of there's really no way to verify their authenticity
other than like querying transaction, putting some timestamp.
Yeah, please do not. Oh, they were made during this time and they have that picture.
Yeah, please do not do that.
Please do not.
Is there a way to have simple sell and buy button on marketplaces? Soon there is a PR for the instant sales. There's someone that's working on it soon.
Like it was supposed to be last week. Maybe it'll be this week.
Yeah.
At some
Bear
point.
with us.
Yes. Got some new people working on it.
Yeah, there's a lot. I want to program on Solana, make NFT smart contract. What skills or language do I ever need to know? So again, it depends what you're doing. If you are a creator, you want to mint it, like you have a picture, you want to mint it into an NFT on Solana, you probably can use the code that's already out there. You might want to learn maybe React and JavaScript to understand better, but you don't need any Rust. If you want to create custom logic, I don't know, maybe licensing rights on top of metadata in Metaplex, you might need you might need Rust. Or maybe, I don't know, a wedding contract where, before the wedding, the groom and the bride, they get an NFT and then they connect and the heart is like locked forever on Solana blockchain. Then maybe you need a bit of Rust.
Are we going to write that for each other?
Hey, I don't know. Yeah. What do you guys think?
Put our glasses together.
All right, what else do we have there? Love to see the doc that covers process of creating mint account, creation metadata. Yeah, it's in the code. There was a link shared. If you dig a bit deeper, someone should probably add more documentation around it. Please post a PR. Okay. Any way to have a private video session to create 10,000 mint projects on Solana? Maybe join one of the
office
hours that Jordan is running. In general, for anyone that's thinking about that, we are not doing any freelance work and we are not charging any money for our services, but we will not create a project for you if you don't have any engineers.
Yeah.
We already have a job.
Otherwise, I'd never get any sleep. Yeah.
All right. Is there a link to watch all these NFT processes? That's the video. Those are all the NFT processes. So there will be a link that I will tweet with the recording. All right, we are almost done. So what's next?
I just want to say hi. I haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. What do you want to talk about? Like what's left?
Like, I don't know. Sneak peeks.
Oh yeah. So Fair Launch Protocol, the thing we're almost done with. Yeah. So office hours, probably have a few of them next week.
Yeah. Watch Metaplex Discord.
Yeah, you watch the Metaplex Discord.
You can also ask any questions there. Let me find the link to the Metaplex Discord. Yeah, talk about sneak peeks.
Yeah, sneak peeks. So so next week we're probably going to be doing some alpha testing with probably one team with the Fair Launch Protocol, which is an evolution of the Candy Machine. Essentially, it's very similar to Mango. If you guys use Mango, it's a 3-phase approach. In the first phase, you have a day to buy a ticket. You get to choose the price of the ticket, which is kind of cool. So you get to choose, what you think the price of the mint of an NFT should be. And it could be any price that you want in a range, right? And then in the second phase, the median of all of the people's prices become the actual price of the mint. So the artist no longer chooses the price of the mint. That's why it's called the Fair Launch Protocol, because the people actually choose the price of the mint. And then if you feel that the median is fair, you get to pay the remaining difference or lower the amount that you paid to that median and stay in the pot. Or you can withdraw your funds if you feel like the median is too high. That's the second phase, and that will last for about a day. Then at the end of the second phase, if there are too many people in the pot, let's say there are 10,000 NFTs in the pot and there are 12,000 people, then it becomes a lottery system. So there are two forces driving the Fair Launch Protocol. There is, you want to have a small lottery, so you have a high chance of winning. So you want to get a good median price, so that, And there is you wanting to get a cheap NFT. So if you give a very low medium price, you're going to have a very large lottery and you're probably going to get nothing. Whereas if you give a high medium price, there's going to be a very small lottery, but you're going to pay a lot. And potentially when you get the NFT, it may not be worth a lot. So we're basically relying on market dynamics to lead to a fair launch process. At the end of this, you will get a token. That token can be used in a candy machine that will only accept that token as payment to give you your NFT. So the candy machine was really a means to an end, and that end is the fair launch protocol.
All right. This was fun. Thanks for joining. Think about doing the hackathon project. Since I posted a bunch of accounts to follow, let's do Chase as well. Before we go, where's Chase? The master. Follow Chase.
Yeah, you should just follow him anyway, regardless.
Yeah.
Just a good person to follow. He's got a cool profile.
Yeah.
I wish I had that Aurorian.
Yeah. Hey, thanks a lot. Enjoy your Friday.
Cheers.